We are two health enthusiasts. We are real black women. We are about to have some real conversations about the good, the bad, and the ugly about our health. We are too fine to die, too fine to die, too fine to die. Hey everybody, this is Dr. K with my fabulous co-host, Coach K, and this is Too Fine to Die. We are health enthusiasts who are real black women having real conversations about the good, the bad, and the ugly about health in our community. And today we will be talking about how do you start your fitness journey. So this is a really good, episode where you're going to hear more from Coach K than me because this is what she do. This is what she does. Oh, that sounded so.
That's what she do.
That's what she do.
You got hood with it.
Yeah, you know,
a
little bit.
Come on.
But this is, she motivates and she encourages people all the time on how do you start this? How do you start your healthy journey? So I'm excited about what she has to say because I'm gonna get some encouragement too. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Born ready?
If you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
I say that too. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. So, question.
Yeah.
I'm a weight loss surgeon, as we've discussed, and I get a lot of people and I ask them at their initial consultation, so why do you want to do this? Or what do you think the issues are? And it's always, or most of the time, I've tried everything and nothing works. I don't know where to begin. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So a lot of them, they just are really clueless about where to start, how to start, what does starting even really look like. So how do you go about encouraging people to get their health on?
You know what? I'm going to try to get us not canceled.
Do
For what
it.
I got to say. But we've been programmed to be unhealthy. We just have. The way it's talked about, it bothers me when people call exercise a necessary evil. I'm like, any type of evil is not good. You can't call it a sexy evil and think it's good. It's not. And we are taught to think that calories are bad, carbs are bad. None of those things are bad. So when you have that thrown in your head at an early age, it's hard to get out of that. And so many people want to do better, but like you said, they don't know. They don't know. Not only do they not see it in the household, but they don't see it on the TV. Like, this is one of the few places, and like I said, I'm trying to get us not canceled, but you go to other countries, there are all types of health initiatives, and they're serious about it. Healthy, real food. We don't have that here, and we just don't. So it's hard because now people have to really find the people who are giving them real information. And this information overload out there on these internets. You can go find all the things, but it's so much trash out there. So it's hard to decipher what's really real. So when I come across people who, the first thing is that they have the desire to do better.
Yeah.
That's the first key for them to say, even if they have been originally saying, well, this runs in my family and I'm just, I'm big boned and all that stuff. Eventually they're like, you know what, but I don't like this. This doesn't feel good to me. Yeah. I'm not sleeping well, I'm not breathing well, I'm like how my clothes fit, my clothes are bigger, all of this stuff, right? So once they make that decision to make a change, the first thing I do is applaud them. Yeah. Because that in itself is hard. And then on top of it to say, I need help.
Yes.
Right?
And we're too proud to acknowledge that.
Especially, I can figure it out. There's so much stuff out there. I could just read it. I could just search it. I could da-da-da-da. But for those people who say, I've tried everything that didn't work, they tried all those things that are meant to be temporary, right? And they didn't work for you because they're restrictive. Yep. Nothing that's restrictive. Diets are meant to be temporary and restrictive, point blank in the period. Nobody likes to be restricted. They don't. You know how many, you may know this. You know how many diets the average American adult would try in their lifetime?
37.
55.
I believe it.
And whenever I say that, people are like, what? That makes no sense. But I'm like, let's do some math.
Yeah.
Basic math. Let's just say adulthood was from 25 to 55. That's 30 years. Most people are going to try at least 2 a year. That's 60 right there, right? So when we look at it that way, a lot of times when that happens, people feel like that's 55 failures, 55 failures. But to me, I look at it as 55 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're trying. That says a lot. You know, so for me, I'll tell people all the time, there's a difference between a coach and a trainer. So yes, I'm a certified trainer, but I'm a coach. We're going to talk about things. We're going to dig deep, because my job is to not beat up on you. I'm not a drill sergeant. I want you to understand why you're doing, because at the end of the day, when it comes to health and fitness, a lot of times people only focus on exercise and nutrition.
Correct.
But that center pillar that they need is the mindset, right? So let's talk about why you make the decisions that you've made before, and how do we get it to fit into the life that you have and the life that you want.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, and I think a lot of times when people decide that they want to change, they just run and they don't do any work. They don't think about it. They're just like, oh, Dr. K looking good. What you doing, girl? You doing? I'm not gonna say these diets that get on my nerve, and then they just run and do it. Don't do that. So for my people who want to change, the first thing is to have a real honest conversation with yourself about your relationship with food, what movement you like, because there's a difference too between just regular exercise and movement. All I say is get your heart rate up. Whatever you like. Skating, gardening, walking, dancing, twerking, lifting weights, running. There's so much that you can do that you don't have to do what everybody else is doing, right? Like because it's not about the how, it's the why. So if your why is to get your heart rate up, to burn calories, to live a healthier lifestyle, there are too many things that you can do to feel like you just got to sit in this box. So that, and then also to start slow. Give yourself some grace and start slow, because too often, oh my gosh, January, anniversary, birthday, whatever, folks are hitting 2 a days. You don't like exercise twice a day. Don't do it. You starving yourself. You like to eat. Don't do it. Start small and don't focus on, you know, too often when I meet people, they're like, what you do? Girl, I need to work with you because I need to lose 50 pounds. And I always ask, what does that number mean to you? How do you come to 50? Because that's when I feel the best. But what do you feel like? And the more we talk about it, it's not the number. It's literally a feeling.
Yeah.
Whether they fitting into their old clothes again, wearing their wedding ring again, whatever it is. So I'm like, that's what we're focused on. So let's not look at that number, because too often when people look at that number, they'll do drastic things to get to that number. They drinking these boo-boo juices, talking about they detoxing. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
You're shitting.
That's all you're doing. You're on the toilet. Your ass hurting. And you're not burning any fat. And you still mad because once you go eat, guess what? You gained all that weight back because you're focusing on the doggone scale as opposed to your doggone habits. So I tell people, think about the habits and don't think about the 50 pounds. Let's just focus on today. Just say, you know what, today I'm going to exercise. I'm going to go for a walk for 20 minutes. Focus on those habits today and they'll add up. Like when I did my figure competition, I had to weigh myself every day.
That's hard. That's traumatizing.
It is. So on day 2, you know, I had my baseline day 1. Day 2, I get on a scale and I look and I'm like, 0.4 pounds. That's all I lost. And it's like you said, it messes you up. But then I realized as long as I followed and trusted the process, that 0.4 turned to 0.8, to 1.2, to 1.6. So I think people really need to understand that it's a process. Because where you are now is not where you started. You didn't gain this weight overnight, so don't expect to lose it overnight. Don't expect to get your dream body in a 30-day challenge. That ain't gonna happen. You have to plan for a consistent lifestyle. Hey, I am Krystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game. I am your health and fitness coach who specializes in helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting or exercising for more than 30 minutes at a time. It is my personal mission to help at least 1 million Black and brown families change the trajectory of their medical histories, because we are not predisposed to these preventable diseases. So if you know that you need help, you're looking for a coach, make sure that you send me a message. You can go directly to fitnessisnotagame.com and I got you. And if you're a foodie like me, because when you work with me, you are still going to eat, you're going to move, you're going to love yourself. Make sure that you go to my Amazon page, look for In the Kitchen with Krystal, where I make meal prep easy yet delicious. You are going to love the body that you get.
110%. You touched on so many things that I discuss with my patients, especially at the first consultation, the why. You know, like you've gone the last 45 years of your life, so why right now do you think that you want to see if surgery for weight loss is an option for you? And I've heard the gamut, but it's, I have kids and I want to see them get married and graduate, or I have toddlers and I can't run after them. What if one of them runs into the street? I want to be able to travel, but I don't like holding my friends and my family back because every, few steps I got to sit down. Or I used to be a truck driver. Now I can't. And that's the only thing I know and enjoy. And I have to lose weight for my career. But only the individual really knows the why. And it's going to get hard. But that's, I think, the core that people need to fall back on when it's difficult, when it's not fun. Because a lot of times it ain't gonna be fun.
No, it ain't.
You can try to make it fun, but life isn't. If you did everything that was fun, we all probably wouldn't make it out of our 20s. That's just 110% what the hell going on.
Mind your
but
business.
Sometimes you got to do what you need over what you want. But that's why you got to go to your core, right? Of like, why am I doing any of this? The other thing is consistency, right? Oh, they're like, oh, well, nothing worked. Well, nothing worked because you keep going back. You backsliding, like I say in the church. So it's
but
about.
But it worked while they were doing it. They just didn't like
because
it.
Because they got bored, they got tired, they got frustrated, they were restricted. So they went back to something. They went back to their old habits. So it's lack of consistency. Because let's say that it did work. I agree with you. Most of these are harmful. But the fact that you were able to lose anything means that if you had kept on, you would continue to lose. But those are not sustainable plans, right? So when it comes to diet, I want to say live it. Diet, this is like, what is that? It should not be something that's temporary. You need to figure out a healthy nutrition plan that you can do almost every day for the rest of your life. And if you can't do that, then that's where the problem is, because you're the one that's got to keep this up. It's not me. I'm not going to go to the grocery store with you, for you. I can't work out for you. It's got to be something that you like.
Slapping stuff out your hand. They're like, that's the type of train I need. I'm not doing that.
I mean, no, you have to have the willpower to do it, And I love that you kind of meet people where they are and it's just do something, And a lot of it is expectation management, It's like, oh, I never worked out this whole year, but now I'm going to go to the gym. I went 3 times. And I did 1 salad every day, and where are my 12 pounds? They are not lost. That's not even realistic. So then what? You get discouraged, but what you were thinking was going to happen was never going to happen. So is it that it didn't work, or your plan was faulty to begin with, and not because you planned poorly, you don't know how to plan. And that's where I think you are gold, And I think being able to give people that encouragement, but just the basics, it's like, Darian was always laughing at me, but one time I had a patient who, it was like, oh, circle all the vegetables like on the page. Macaroni and cheese was circled. And it's like, I wish I was lying.
You're not going to sit here and lie.
Because I'm embarrassed to even say that. But no, it's the truth. But again, you don't know what you don't know. Oh, fruit juice is so healthy. It's fruit juice. All the sugar and when you start to really peel back the layers, what does low cal mean? What does low salt mean? What does low fat mean? It's still a lot of bullshit in it. It's just less, but it's still a lot. And you have to weed through the propaganda, because it's $1 billion businesses getting us this way. And then you got $1 billion insurance companies and healthcare systems trying to treat us, not cure us, but treat us. And we're stuck in the middle.
We're also not taught. That's one of my favorite trainings that I do. I show them how to really read the nutrition label.
And there's a lot on there.
There's a lot.
It's juicy.
And we're not even talking about the ingredient list yet. We're talking about the nutrition label itself, like what's listed on there. But that's why I say they don't want us healthy here. But so, as you said, my goal is to change perspectives and do a mindset shift. That's why my culture program is called Shift, because I'm like, I need you to shift how you think. I need you to shift how you move, and it's going to shift how your body works, right? Like it just does.
Yeah.
But that perspective, even when it comes to exercise and movement, I can't stand when folks like, well, I'm too busy, I ain't got time. I'm like, all you need. So that's the other thing. We've been taught, and we see on social media, folks are exercising at the gym for 3-4 hours. Lies you tell. You don't need that. You really only need 150 minutes a whole week. That's it. 30 minutes for 5 days. That's it. And that's why I'm like, 30 minutes, like if I'm a nerd. Shut up, my brother's somewhere around. Like, I know you are, but I'm a nerd. I like numbers. And when I actually calculated it, 30% is literally 2% of your entire day. 2. And that's why I'm like, what are you giving the other 98% to that you feel is more important than your doggone health, that you can't get up and go for a walk? Now, you could sit there and scroll on your phone all day. All day. If I grab your phone right now and look at how your phone health, it's going to show you've been on all these apps, but you don't have 30 minutes to do something. Like, I can't believe it. But again, it's about priorities. And not just that, but understanding that it's simple. It may not be easy, but it's simple. But once we look at it and say, oh, it's just 30 minutes. All I got to do is get my 30 minutes first thing in the morning. And at least I call it my goals deposit. I tell my clients, pay your deposit towards your goals. You say this is what you want. 30 minutes? You can give me that. And then when you do it, don't just show up. I need you to show out. For 30 doggone minutes, give it your all. I always tell them by the time you finish your workout, you should be having a conversation like, why the hell am I doing this? You should be having a conversation with your God, whoever it is, or if you ain't got one, with yourself. Like, girl, why you doing this? And then you remind yourself, because I have to remind myself doing my workouts, I'm doing this because I want to live longer, or I want to look good. Whatever, ain't nothing wrong with vanity. But it's just, be honest about what your why is.
Yeah.
And what your real goal is. Because a lot of times it ain't that number. Nobody knows how much you weigh except you and your doctor. It's literally just a measure of your gravitational pull towards the earth. That is it. It's not the scarlet number where you got to walk around with your weight on your hat and everybody like, damn, like for real. Woo. Like, that's not. But they can look at you and be like, okay, all right. Or like, girl, y'all seen so-and-so. That's what it's really for. So just think about that, be honest about it, and just think about what you actually like. That's what I was asking
You
people,
have to like it.
What do you like? Like, I'm such a non-traditional coach. I don't mind prescribing my clients go take a shot of tequila because you stressed out. Take a shot of tequila and go watch some trashy TV for the night to reset your body. And then tomorrow we're going to get back at it.
Exactly.
You like hot wings? That's cool. Only get you 6 of them a day. That's cool. I'm not going to tell you not to eat because that's where people go wrong. They restrict themselves.
It's all or none.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like you see, like real talk, wine and water. Jesus. Wine and water. Because it's really about balance. In my house, we eat pizza every doggone Friday. But every day, I'm eating oatmeal, I'm eating egg whites. It's an 80-20. And too often, we want to hit that 80 on the hard side and then get mad at the results that we didn't get. From the work we didn't put in.
I say it all the time.
That's why I ask my clients, I'm like, if you had to grade yourself right now, let's talk about it. With your performance, with your consistency, with your mindset, let's be real. We can't say, oh, I'm getting frustrated. What did you do?
Hey guys, I'm Dr. K. I'm a bariatric surgeon and co-founder of Pro Black Health. I've been a doctor for 13 years practicing, so I know that you should not wait until you're sick to be concerned about your health. Did you know that 92% of Black people are vitamin deficient? And that's why we created Pro Black Health Vitamins, to help fill in those nutritional gaps that are often made by our diets. So not only we are a vitamin company, but we are a movement where up to 50% of our profits go towards nonprofit initiatives that focus on eradicating healthcare disparities in the Black community. So I welcome you to try us at Pro Black Health, PROBLK Health.com, where an investment in yourself is an investment in the community.
We can't say, oh, I'm getting frustrated. What did you do?
No, listen, you preaching to the choir because I hear it all the time.
I'm sure you do.
And, just kind of to like, not even sum up what you said, but like just a common theme is that, like you said, why don't you exercise? Oh, I don't have the time, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, if you were to have surgery, I'm not giving you got the same 24 hours. I'm not giving you 25, I'm not giving you 26.
Look.
So I say, listen, I want you to, for at least 4 days a week, do something above what you already do.
Yep.
But the first step in doing that is putting it on a calendar. Because if you say, I'm going to do it tomorrow will come and go and you didn't commit to it. Mm-hmm. So the same way you have a hair appointment every week, you get your nails done, you need to honor that appointment to yourself. And I said, I don't care if you stare at the wall. I don't want you doing anything else for that time that you told yourself you would exercise. Eventually, I hope you get bored and to be like, you know what, F it. I'm standing here looking at the wall.
I may as well do something.
But I was like, I don't, if you put that on your calendar, I don't want you doing nothing else but exercise. But if you want to waste the time, well, you waste it. Yeah. But we have to start honoring these same appointments that we do with everybody else. Yeah. We respect everybody else's time. We show up, we pay. But you told yourself you would work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
For 30 minutes.
And, you didn't feel like it. You decided not to show up. You need to appreciate yourself the same way that you appreciate others and their business. Yeah. So, again, I love your take on it and your non-traditional, because people need to know that nobody's perfect. No. And sometimes you got to start with better. You go from better to good. You go from good to excellent. You're never going to be perfect. Yeah. But it's like these little goals just to kind of how to you even like tackle this thing called a health journey. Right. So,
and it can be pretty difficult because when you are 40, 50, 60 years old and that's been your life, it's like, how do you make that change? Like, how? It's
one change at a time.
Exactly. And it sounds very scary. And so that's why I do approach it in a way where I'm like, let's talk. Like, I don't want you to feel bad about yourself because you obviously feel bad enough because you're here. It's not my job to beat you up. My job is to help and support you, like, and guide you and share what I know, and let's see how it can work for you. So for my people who are just starting out, I would definitely say find what works for you. Don't feel the need to follow what everybody else is doing. It's great to be able to use that as research points. Like, oh, I saw someone talk about this. Let me check this out. I saw somebody talk about this. But go with what works for you and something that's sustainable. Because most people aren't looking at it as, oh, I tried 55 times. They're like, I failed 55 times. Yep. And then at that point, they're going to start breaking down. So for that, I would say that when it comes to knowing that you need to do something versus what you want to do, you have to think about it. What you want is to live longer and to be healthier and to be happy, right? You want to feel good in your clothes. And so with that, you're going to need to make some changes because what you've been doing got you where you are now. You're not happy with it, right? And we just have to be honest about that. And what you should do is find that support system, whether it's a coach like me, a doctor with an amazing ear and a support system, but find somebody who's going to help you to get you there.
Yep. And I will say, last thing, we are here to help you, but what I don't do is I want to change, and I see you next time. Well, why did you eat all the things you said you weren't going to eat? And now you're still unhappy about the results. I can't do that. And I'm assuming you can't do that either. So we're here to help you if you want to help yourself. Yeah. But you can't be on both sides of the fence.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a coach, please reach out to me. You can find me on all the socials at Fitness Is Not a Game, but go straight to the site, fitnessisnotagame.com, and just click the link to work with me.
And if you want health tips, please join me at Pro Black Health, but it's a vitamin company, which we will discuss in another episode. But Pro Black Health, PROBLK health.com, on IG, Facebook, TikTok. But there's so much information that we want to share. So to get more, definitely tune in.
See you next time.
See you next time.